say that's the bad guy. I tell the truth even when I lie. Everybody say goodnight to the bad guy. You need people like me, so you can point the finger and say that's the.
It's so much to dig into this. Like you originally said, this song was a cover, actually, from.
Well, we've had a discussion about how we disagree on what constitutes a cover, but technically you're right.
It's a cover song.
It is.
It's and I have gone on the record saying I'm anti-cover. This is one of the few songs that I make an exception for. Like, yo, this one is better than the original one. And funny story about that, right? So Bacharach David were writers. The producers and writers,
everything, yeah,
who like did movie scores and you name it. This song took 10 years to make. Took 10 years because Bacharach didn't like it. He thought it was rushed. He actually did the first original take with Dionne Warwick 10 times. 10 times. Didn't think it. Like Bacharach was the type of guy that was such a perfectionist that he just wanted to like, no, it's not right, it's not right, it's not right. And he needed somebody like Hal to be like, hey man, stop bullshitting, put it out. Like, dude, you tripping. So this was actually on what's the name of that? World of I forgot the name of the album.
I don't recall. It was
I think it's World of Winds, something like that. The album was on. Don't quote me on that. But this Rush song debuted number 4 on the billboards. The Dionne Warwick version. And it was originally done, if I'm not mistaken, for a Vietnam soldier. Like it was a war song. But very beautifully, eloquently done, the Dionne Warwick version. However, it is kicked up to a whole nother notch with Aretha Franklin. The soul, the power, and sorry, I feel like I'm talking too much.
Please, go ahead.
But this is a good time to talk about melisma. And for you guys who are not like music people, what melisma is, in layman's term, is vocal runs or damn, they be singing effect, right? Melisma is when you're singing a note, but you stretch out the note and put notes in between it. So like, instead of saying forever and ever, you forever, that's melisma, right?
But that's not.
That's a bad example of melisma, right?
Yeah.
Like, see, a good example of people who do melisma a lot is Mariah Carey, Christina Aguilera.
Great singers.
Yeah, okay. See, that's the thing. When melisma is done right, that's the factor to make you say, oh man, they singing their ass off.
Yeah.
But when it's done poorly like me, it's like, oh God, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
But Aretha Franklin, in my opinion, did it perfectly. And it's well timed. Forever. You know? Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a singer. But that's what really brings this song out. Now, I know you're going to talk about how you like how Sissy Houston and the background singers take the foreground, right?
They sweet inspiration. Sissy Houston, Whitney Houston's mom, it's extraordinary. The way they switch back and forth. There's such a synergy between ostensibly the background group and Aretha Franklin. It's just extraordinary to me. The production is perfect. I can't think of a single flaw in the production on that. The singing, the production, the playing, nothing.
It's a little tacky.
Serious?
It is, but it adds to the song.
No,
it adds to the song. It's this song is not one of Bacharach Davis' most complex works. It's not.
No, sure.
No, I'm saying it all gels together.
Alfie is much more complex, but
way more. Way more.
Yeah.
I'm saying this song in itself, the beauty of this song is it was a Rush song, and being a producer, throw my bona fides out there. Being a producer, I can see what like Bacharach was saying.
Right.
But sometimes the song is what it is.
Sure. I grew up, Dionne Warwick was one of my late mother's favorite singers. So as a kid, I grew up with Dionne Warwick's version, which I like a great deal. And I've always liked Aretha Franklin, Chain of Fools, etc. But the first time I ever heard this was in the 90s. Seriously, I was living at Young in College. I was married at the time, working at the shopping channel. My wife came home, and she had a CD, Best of Aretha Franklin. And I knew all the cuts. So she's playing the CD, and then this comes on. I say a little prayer. I go, whoa, I'd never heard it before. And I can still remember being on the couch in our living room, I got to hear that again. And that 91, 92, somewhere in there. And since then, it has just become one of my top 2 or 3 favorite songs. You might have noticed I pointed up at one point during the playing, and it's near the coda of the song. You're expecting her to drop, but she goes up, and it's an extraordinary vocal effect. The playing on Aretha Franklin was a great piano player, but Clayton Davies, I don't recall the gentleman's name who was playing this. Interesting thing is, I remember when Dr. King was assassinated, and I'm not going to go into the story, but my mom was quite upset. And Aretha Franklin sang at Martin Luther King's funeral. This was recorded, from what I understand, a couple of weeks later in New York City. And everybody was white. The musicians, et cetera, were all white. Aretha and her crew and her husband, that they were on the verge of breakup, was her manager. They were black. And obviously there was some tension there, not necessarily between these people, but just in general in the United States. And it's amazing to me how sometimes tension produces greatness, because for whatever reason, you've got everything working on it. Whether it was the miasma, the milieu of the times, the particular players, whatever it was, this was perfection to me.
I am reluctant to give the white man credit on this one. I mean,
Sorry,
or the tension. Like, you kind of like unintentionally, like, and the tension and the pain what made this song. Well, I'm kind of reluctant to go there.
I agree, but you got to understand there were riots after.
No, I can definitely understand that. But here's the thing. The song is great on its own.
I love Dionne Warwick's version.
And the musicians were great.
Oh.
So I'm just so reluctant to be like, no, it's great because the people who did it were great.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And the tension was just stupid in general. Like, we've talked about racism and stuff.
Sure,
the whole thing is stupid.
Right.
But I'm reluctant to give the tension a factor in making this
How's
good.
this? That for whatever reason, and frankly, at the end of the day, I don't really care. Everything worked. The musicians worked, the production worked,
right?
The background vocals. Jesus, Aretha's vocal on this is just insane.
Let me touch on that for a second. Aretha, the point you bring out about the background becoming the foreground, the foreground becoming the background. However, there's never a time where you like Aretha's being outshined.
Oh, no.
Ever.
No.
The star is Aretha, and you hear it in the vocals, and the background singer can't hold a bucket of water next to Aretha. They can't.
Well, who could?
That's the point, right? Nobody can.
Yeah,
and when you listen to her runs, her vocal runs,
amazing.
The reason why I give Aretha so much credit, she is the prototype for how modern R&B and soul is done. Like, all this comes from the church, if you want to be honest. All the vocals and the vocal style is church format. Even melisma. Melisma actually was from Gregorian. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Gregorian church chants.
Gregorian.
That's it. Church chants. The
Do you know that I've got all those on my phone? Okay.
Wait, because I'm losing my train of thought.
Sorry, man.
So that being the case, right, it's something that really grabs you spiritually. When somebody can pull off melisma or runs perfectly, it's something like, because it's come from religion. It's like, it's almost holy, holier than thou. Because the monks, everybody, they do that chant right there to actually get in contact with your inner spirit. So when somebody can pull it off good and you hear a good run like Aretha, it's just more like, you stop. You're like, yo, this is transcendent. And it's only few people who can pull that off. Aretha being one of them, Whitney Houston being another one of them. Shirley Bassey didn't really do a lot of melisma, right? She just straight out sung the words.
Yeah.
But still a good singer, right? But when somebody can just pull off the runs perfectly, not a great singer, but can do it very well. Fantasia. She can pull off runs very, very well. Deborah Cox can pull off runs very well. But when somebody can do that, it's something that hits you. You stand up like, oh my God, this person. That's when the goosebumps come in, when somebody hits you, because it's spiritual in that sense. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. I happen to listen to Gregorian chants a lot. I've got them on my computer at home. Years ago, probably mid-90s, there was actually a best-selling album called Canto Gregoriano. And seriously, Canto Gregoriano. And it was a group of European monks singing traditional Gregorian chants in Latin, and it hit. Mm-hmm. And I had known about them since then, or prior to that, but not really, known them. And I've listened to Gregorian chants for 6 years now.
It's spiritual, man. Like the chanting, like when you take sometimes words out and just go straight to sounds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like it can hit you on a level, like
Sure.
humming.
Yeah.
Sometimes just
Whistling.
whistling.
You know, we did a version of Sukiyaki, or rather a review, Ue Omute Arako by Q Sakamoto, and there's a break there where he does some whistling, and it's magic. It's apropos, and the quality is.
Do we know it was him doing the whistling?
Well, I'm
though?
not saying it. I don't know, but whomever was doing the whistling
Yeah.
is bang on.
Yeah, that's my reluctant producers. Like, was it him though?
I'm not saying it was.
Was it him?
What I'm saying is that whistling really helped to synergize that track.
Yeah. So Aretha Franklin, man, like really the greatest American singer.
I don't know how you can listen to that song and not be moved. I don't know how. To me, it's a gut punch. It grabs you. And every good, bad, or meaningful thing that's ever happened to you is in that song. And I don't know how you can sit there and listen to it and not be moved.
You know what? I'm not gonna go that deep into it.
Oh,
I think you can. You can listen to it and appreciate it's a good song. I think you can.
Well, it's a 10 for me. This is one of my top few favorite songs of all time.
It's a 10. It's a 10. Like no lower than a 9.8. Like if I'm gonna be a stickler, the only problem I have with this song, man, that's just me really looking for a problem. No, I can't even say that because for the technology at the time, it'd be the mix.
The mix.
Man.
I even love the mix.
Nah, the mix is airy and it has a little warmth to it, but it's nah. Like folks like Rick Beato will always talk about how analog equipment makes things sound better, and she's like, no. Like digital makes things sound great too.
I am not a technician. I'm not going to speak about analog versus digital. You and I have spoken about perfection is not perfection. This song, whether it is in fact technically perfect or not, to me is a perfect song.
No, it's good. It's a great song. Like I said, for me, it'd be a 10 too. Like I said, it's nothing much I can find about it, and I'm just being nitpicky by saying the mix.
Sure.
If it was like clear as hell, I could hear those vocals hitting like that. Oh man, it'd probably be, I don't know, I'd probably jizz in my pants if I heard it like on a clear ass vocals.
I just had an image of you doing that in slow motion.
Like every other YouTuber.
We'll put it on our title card.
Oh my God. So that's the song, guys.
Yeah, man.
Say a little prayer. Hope you enjoyed it. And dig into Aretha Franklin's catalog, guys. Like, and Bacharach David. Bacharach David is
magic.
That tandem of white boys were great at producing and writing.
Anything by Bacharach David, and check out Shade of Fools by Aretha. Another great tune.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the greatest Aretha. I'm trying to think the greatest Aretha song.
Well,
it may be this one, actually.
Oh, no, this is the greatest. But I happen to dig Shade of Fools. I really love that song, too.
That's cool. All right, man. That is Tokyo Stash and Spade, man. We'll catch you guys on the next video. Y'all be safe.
We out.
You need people like me, so you can point the finger and say that's the bad guy. I tell the truth even when I lie. Everybody say good night to the bad guy.